This lady got laid off from her tech job and she's still able to afford life. So let's see what she's doing to kind of manage life, because that's pretty difficult to be laid off from your job and still afford life. Like this video says, I was laid off from my job 2 months ago. Here's how I still pay for my mortgage.
I got laid off. I felt kind of numb and shocked at the same time. I bought my house not even a year.
Leave a comment down below if you've ever been laid off and what did you do to kind of combat that. I've never been laid off, but I would be so stressed out. That's why I think it's super important to have emergency funds and things like that. But let me know in the comment section if you've ever been laid off and what did you kind of do to combat that.
Before being laid off, I was like panicking. I was very, very scared. Now that I'm like 10 months into this journey, I feel like this year my brain has been like rewired around how I see money. Every month I've still been able to pay all of my bills. I've never had a late payment on anything. I'm just like really surprised by how I've been able to be resourceful this year. My name is Simone Austin. I'm 33 years old. I live in North Carolina. And even after being laid off in January, I've been able to cover my mortgage every month without a full.
Dang, $2,800 monthly mortgage. That's insane. And you just never know when you're gonna be laid off. You never know if something's gonna happen. But $2,800 monthly mortgage in North Carolina, out of all places, is North Carolina really that expensive that you have to have a $2,800 a month mortgage? That's a lot of pressure to make those payments every single month, especially after you just got laid off from your, 6-figure tech job. Like me personally, I don't want a $2,800 a month mortgage. I can probably handle $1,500, and I want to put more than 20% down. I want this mortgage to be paid off within about 15 or 20 years. I'm not even in this range for mortgage payments. Like, this is way beyond me. Unless I was making a significantly more amount of money.
I have been documenting my personal finance decisions online on my YouTube channel for several years at this point. My YouTube channel is monetized in multiple ways. The main one is ad revenue.
YouTube is a great side hustle. It's a great thing to start. Kind of diving into social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those things are great places to start, especially if you have something that you want to talk about, or if you're passionate about some kind of topic or subject, then start a YouTube channel. Just set up your camera, press record, and start talking.
Another is sponsorships or brand deals. Overall this year, I've been able to make around $21,000 through YouTube.
That's really good, actually.
On average, I've been able to get like around $2,000 a month.
Imagine you have $2,000 a month just from creating videos, talking about things that you're passionate about. It sounds like an amazing thing, doesn't it?
Before I was laid off, I was working as a UX content designer, and my annual salary was $131,000 a year.
I talk big about tech, getting into tech. It's very competitive, but it's also very volatile because we've seen many people get laid off, people have been hired, and people have been laid off. So it's definitely not as secure as maybe a government job or something else like that. But if you are in a job like that, then you want to make sure that you have an emergency fund set up. You want to have at least a year, because you never know when your company's going to make cuts, and you never know when you're going to be the one that's being cut.
The day I got laid off started like a regular work day. I got an email from someone like higher up in my team saying, clear your calendar, we need to meet in an hour. It was super vague.
Jeez.
I knew that like I was gonna get laid off. I just had a gut feeling. I felt like a wave of emotions, scared, very nervous, very anxious. I cried.
Ooh,
I recorded the layoff, so I was kind of...
I think I've actually seen this video an hour ago. Yeah, I've seen this video.
Talking through my feelings afterwards.
The difficult decision to restructure the XD org, and unfortunately you're impacted by this change.
Okay, thank you. See you on LinkedIn, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
Dang.
I think like...
That's tough, man. That's tough. Your work becomes you. It becomes who you are. And then you put all this effort into this company for them to just lay you off, or, well, what they say, restructure, and you're impacted by that. Definitely a tough pill to swallow, and I hate that that has to happen. That's just the kind of field that she's in, and it sucks.
Within a week, it had like 500,000 views, which had never happened before on my channel. After that video went viral, I realized the type of money that I could make with content creation. It's definitely helped this whole year to be able to pay my bills. When I was laid off, I received the last paycheck, which was 2 weeks pay, and it also included any of my unused PTO. And then I received a small severance as well. I also received my last year's bonus. They paid that out in the spring. I think I applied for unemployment benefits like the week after I got laid off. I got unemployment for 12 weeks and it was
Okay, so we're saying about $2,400 a month. Okay, so for 12 weeks, you get $2,400 a month. She said she was getting about $2,000 a month from YouTube. I don't know if it was during this time, but not bad so far. But that's only for 12 weeks. We need to have a whole year of expenses, and then we also need to make sure we're saving and investing. We're not just having enough money to pay the bills.
Was $600 per week. By far, my biggest bill is my mortgage. I think the exact number is $2,700.
That is so crazy. $2,700 for a mortgage in North Carolina.
$46. Outside of that, I've had to pay for health insurance now, and right now that's $350. I also have student loans that I have to pay, so that's $223 a month. Right now I'm paying $200 a month for my credit card debt.
Like when things like this happen, this is why you really want to be out of credit card debt and why you want to keep your expenses low. Because if you ever get fired, if you ever get laid off, if something ever happens, then you don't want to be having this huge bill every single month that was fine when you had your income, but now that you don't, it's a big burden. So you want to make sure you get out of all this debt as soon as possible. Get out of your credit card debt, get out of your student loan. You don't have to rush those super quick depending on the interest rate because it's probably better to invest. But you want to have your debts as low as possible, and that's what we're trying to do right now. De-risk our portfolio. Just sold our other house. We have a car loan with about $10,000 left on it. We put that on a 3-year loan term, and we're going to be paying that off more than likely this year, maybe not. We have the money to pay off now. We want to stay ready, so we want to keep building that savings up. But we also want to make sure that we're continually investing.
I have about $33,000 in student loans, and it's all from my master's degree. Immediately, I want to pay off the credit card debt, and then I would want to move into the student loans. I have an emergency fund, and it has around $40,000 in it, and for the majority of this.
Well, good. She has an emergency fund. That's a great thing to have. So $40,000. So if something were to happen, if she wasn't able to pay her mortgage, she didn't get that much money from YouTube or whatever else she has going on, then she can pull from this emergency fund, and it will last her a good bit of time.
This year, I actually haven't had to use it, and it's just like 10 months into this journey that I finally had to pull money out of it. The size of my house is somewhere between like 1,100 to 1,200 square feet. I have 2 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms and 1 half bathroom.
God, so it's not even that big of a house, but her mortgage is $2,700 a month.
I bought it in the spring of 2024. I bought my house for right under $340,000. I put $10,000 as a down payment.
So she said how much?
I bought it in the spring of 2024. I bought my house for right under $340,000.
All right, so she got the house for $340,000, which is, I think, it's a decent price. Like that's kind of our range. We're kind of more than 300 side. 10,000 down. That thing's probably like a 6. Oh, so she put down 3%. Okay, so she put down 3%. You can see that right here. Right on the right side, you can see she put down 3%, which is what we put down on this house, but this house is way less. This house was $100,000. So I wouldn't put down 3% on a home like this. I mean, that mortgage is crazy with the PMI and everything. This just says $2,400 with PMI, but you got to talk about property taxes are probably higher than $3,000 a year. I don't know, maybe $4,000. Oh, they're right there. $25,000 every year. You expect your insurance and property taxes to increase. So coming in, having a house payment of $2,500 might not be bad for you. It's not great for me because we don't have this high dual household income. But if you do have a high dual household income, then you want to make sure that this payment is within 30% or maybe max 35% of your income. So I guess if you were going to afford a house like this, you also want to include your utilities in there, which is kind of tough, but we're just going to do that divided by, let's say 0.33, since housing is kind of expensive. I would say you need to take home at least $8,000 a month for this to be at least within the parameters of having that housing cost within 30% of your income. I'm definitely putting down 20% on a single family home we're moving into. This was not so bad because it's a house hack, and it wasn't expensive at all.
Put $10,000 as a down payment, and then I had to do about another $4,000 in closing costs. So in order to buy the house, I had about $14,000.
Which is not bad. I mean, $14,000 gets you into a house, but it also gets you that high house payment. Let's see how much it would have been if she'd have put down 20%. Say she put down 20%. 20. So her loan amount would have been about $270,000. So about $500 less a month. About $2,000 is what her mortgage would have started off with. then we know that this typically goes up. But that's also $68,000 you gotta put down. That's a lot of money, especially if you're in an apartment beforehand. You're already paying $1,500 to maybe $2,000 a month for an apartment, depending on where you live, depending on what kind of apartment you get. Maybe you pay less, maybe you pay a little bit more. But then you need to save enough money to put down $70,000. On top of that, closing costs. On top of that, you need to have an emergency fund because when you move your house, something is going to break and you want to be able to fix it. It's crazy how much money you need to actually afford a house and to actually do it kind of the way that people want you to. It's a lot of money
that I had to bring to the table. January, I'll have a roommate, and that will significantly bring down my expenses every month.
Yeah, get a roommate. She's going to be house hacking. That's what she needs to do. She doesn't need all those rooms. She's only one person. Get a roommate, charge them $1,500 a month. Now you're paying $1,000 or, maybe $1,500 a month. Say her mortgage is $3,000. Get a roommate, charge them less than they would be paying for an apartment. Maybe an apartment in the area is $1,500. Charge them $1,000. So now they're paying $1,000 to live in a room, and you're paying $2,000 for this mortgage, and you were already paying $3,000 mortgage. So that extra $1,000, you can put that towards your debt, or you can put that towards your investments, or towards your YouTube channel. Invest to yourself, wherever you want to do that. But I think that having a roommate, especially when you have a high mortgage payment like that, is a great idea.
How much I make on YouTube kind of changes every month, so it goes up and down. The highest I've made on YouTube was around $5,900, and then the lowest I've made on YouTube this year has been around $900.
That would be a dream. Like if I could make $900 on YouTube a month, that would be amazing. What would I even do with that? I would get a good little buffer for savings for my YouTube account, invest into some more equipment, invest in some little things like that, and then I'll probably invest that money. I mean, what do I do with the extra $900? I would definitely invest that. I want a Tesla. So it's little things I would do with that. But having social media money, that would just be amazing to make money on social media.
Outside of content creation and the money that I make through YouTube, I've also been working as a virtual assistant. I work for a Pilates studio and I'm their administrative assistant. And so I make around $300 per month working for them.
Nice, and free class. So that's a big benefit right there because I know Pilates is kind of expensive. $300 a month, that's a phone bill for Mint Mobile. Check out the link in the description below. We're paying like $30 a month per line. So $300 a month can cover our phone bill for the year. So that's pretty good. And you're getting a free workout in.
I also sell digital and physical products through my YouTube channel. The digital products that I sell are different templates. So one is a budgeting template, and then another is a job search tracker. And then my physical products that I sell are t-shirts and sweatshirts, different clothing items.
So she's hustling. I like that.
As far as my expenses go, I feel like I've cut out close to $1,000 in expenses. I changed the way that I shop. I changed where I shop. I really just...
You got to, because you don't have this steady flow of income every single month from your $130,000 job. You have to adjust your life. If I were to get fired or if somewhere happened, then I have to adjust my lifestyle to the point where I can't spend like I make money at work, because I don't make as much money as I used to. So now I got to be able to adjust your lifestyle. That's why you can't inflate your lifestyle too much and then not able to adjust it back. You can inflate it, just be sure that you're able to scale your lifestyle back if need be. But imagine if she never got fired. She probably wouldn't have really put her all into her YouTube channel, wouldn't have looked for these other income sources, and wouldn't have changed her mindset on working for herself, that entrepreneurial mindset. If she was just in a job, she would have just been in the job, not thinking about how to be an entrepreneur or making extra money. It kind of benefited her in a way. And now that she has this entrepreneurial drive, if she wanted to go get another job, she can do that. And then when she gets off, she can still be an entrepreneur.
When I need it, and I don't buy more than what I need.
Yeah, she literally got forced into focusing more on content creation, putting more effort in, posting more because she got fired. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I'm sure she definitely still misses that $130K a year that was kind of almost guaranteed as long as you went to work and did your job. But social media is definitely a valid path. It's definitely a valid route. It's something that I want to do. I don't think I would ever really quit my job. I would just do social media on top. So I really do enjoy my job, and I also enjoy social media, and I think that it's very doable to do both. So that's how she's doing it. That's how she's paying for her mortgage, by social media, having side hustles, hustling, and getting things done. So I really enjoyed this video. It was very interesting. I mean, she's hustling, but I'm not crazy about the mortgage payment. $2,700 a month to $3,000 a month is actually insane. But since she's about to get a roommate, hopefully that cuts her mortgage down, or hopefully that cuts her payment down by $1,000 or maybe even $1,500. But House hacking is literally one of the best things you can do, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit because it lowers your monthly expenses. So you don't have this pressure on you to pay $2,000, $3,000 a month on something, and you can just house hack and it will cut your housing expenses to a fraction of what they should be. Now that you're paying 50% less of your mortgage, that money can go towards wealth building, which is going to just increase your wealth like 10 times. And it's crazy because it's really helped us. My 401k is almost at $100,000. I'm like $5,000 away from $100,000 at 29 years old. And I really can say that house hacking was one of the main reasons that got me to this point. And I'll be talking a video about that when I get to 100,000 in my 401k, because it was a journey and it's been about 6 years. It took 6 years to get there, and I didn't even max my account out. Yes, we've had great returns in the past, but it was still that consistent money going to my 401k and lowering my expenses, lowering the housing expenses, which is what it's all about. So it seemed like she's lowering her housing expense going forward, which is a great thing to do. This is how she paid for her mortgage for all those months after she got laid off. What would you kind of do if you got laid off from your job? Do you have an emergency fund in place, which is very important to kind of help with that transition? Would you just go looking for another job, which is way harder than it sounds? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.